Hi friends, it's Edward. Nice to see you again. I hope you're doing lovely wherever you are. Personally, going through a bit of a struggle mentally since our least favorite Oompa Loompa has been causing chaos, confusion, and madness in the people's house recently. It has taken a lot of my mental energy, and so this weekend I have really been doing my best to reset myself mentally because in combination with my full-time job and scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, YouTube videos, going to news networks, just everything seems bad. Just all of it is just so bad. And I have not done a very good job recently preserving my mental well-being. And I know I talk about this all the time. That's why I wanted to create this channel, was to really focus on mental wellness and what I do to keep myself on track. And in all honesty, the last week and a half, I have really veered from my very strict regimen of productivity. All of that has just been tossed out the window recently. I think that it is okay and natural and normal to feel a little overwhelmed by life and just to feel those emotions. I have just been avoiding my calendar app, my reminders app, and Notion, the places where I keep all of my thoughts and projects that I want to get done in my life organized. I'm honestly afraid to check in on all of those because I know I have let myself go, and that's okay. I think that it is so healthy and reasonable as a human, especially in trying times, to let yourself wander into those deep crevices of emotion because you're not sweeping things under the rug. You're allowing yourself to fully open the door, walk into the room of terror, look around, see how bad things are or are not, really getting a grasp of what's going on in life. One rotating cast of characters, of companions, to make me feel a lot better and have a level of escapism. So A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah Moss. My best friend Kayla gave it to me to read, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. My favorite thing about this journey with this book is that I have not read the back. I have no idea what it has gotten awards for. I have not asked my friend for any of the details. I've just been calling it the Acorn book because for whatever reason, my brain translates this title to the Acorn book. So this is my Acorn book. And because I have no idea what the premise of this book or series is, because there's 3 books right now, 3 or 4 books, I don't know, someone fact check me, but I'm not necessarily annotating the books. What I have been doing with these little stickies right here is that I am tracking the amount of time that I get to read, because I love to read, but I don't necessarily give myself time to read. But with this, I was like, I just want to see what kind of bursts of reading that I'm getting done. And as you can see, there are long and short bursts of reading. I'm currently at chapter number 23, where things are starting to get a little hot and steamy between Tomlin and Freya, or Frey, whatever her name is. It doesn't, or Tamlin, his name. I don't know any of the characters of this book, and I've been reading it for several days now. Tamlin, who is like the Fairy King, is basically the synopsis of what his character is. And then I think her name is Frey, the primary character, where he scooped her up out of poverty and has allowed her to live this glorious and magnificent life where everything that she wants and needs is basically taken care of. And I'm like, to my good sis, stop complaining and please let me go on that journey, because it just seems like there's been a lot of chaos in the world, and this book, this lovely book, has allowed me to feel and get away into an area of my life that I wish I could have, where just things are taken care of and that there is nothing awry going on in life. I'm only like halfway through this book, so Lord knows what the ending is going to leave. I've asked people if I'm going to cry. One of my friends, Sarah, said no, but I did scream when I was reading this, so it has to get good. But it's just been a great way to find a level of escapism, especially when the world has been crazy, chaotic. But the other thing that I have done while trying to just find time for friends is paint. We invited some friends over. We bought a box of wine by accident. Normally we get like cooking wine that comes in like little boxed containers, like it looks like boxed milk, but or like a boxed water bottle. But the grocery store accidentally subbed it out for one of the big boxes of wine, and we're like, well, we're never gonna drink this in time before it turns into vinegar, so we might as well invite friends over so they can enjoy it with us. So we did like a painting with a twist night. This is what I painted last night. I accidentally painted the bottom, the pot of the plant incorrectly. I was maybe 2 glasses of wine in. This was supposed to be a different color, and then then all of a sudden I looked up and I was like, oh, I painted the pot of the plant the same color that I'm going to paint the leaves of the plant. So I just played around, and it was nice to just kind of let paint flow onto this canvas and not really having a great idea of what I wanted to do. This is not the best painting I've ever done. However, when I take this frame that I've had and I connect them together, it looks a little bit more professional. I mean, like, look at that. From far away, it looks great, right? I love that I just did this, and I'm sure right now it may not be my favorite painting that I have ever done, but it is a painting nonetheless, and it is in canvas. I mean, it's a canvas in an actual frame. You know what? That's better than anything else that I've got going on this week. So these are the accomplishments that I just feel the most proud of right now, is just allowing myself to fall into total and complete despair, but also reading and doing something tactile and painting and producing something relatively for free with paints and arts and crafts supplies that I already have in my home. But I think this is time for a good transition. I know we've been doing a lot of rambling, but I have some cleaning up to do around my house, specifically around plants. And now that we've talked about some of the other hobbies and activities that I've done to totally and completely avoid levels of productivity that I think are important for myself, and different household chores and activities that I just decided we're gonna bump them to next week when I feel a little bit better about myself and the world around me. But we're in the weekend, and a project that I really wanted to tackle and I have been looking forward to when better weather has arrived, which I think for the most part we have. This week we hit 90 degrees in Texas, and it's February. I don't know where that good weather came from, but I will take it honestly. So now that the weather has truly improved, and I don't think we're gonna get any hard frost, it's time for us to move some of my outdoor plants to the outside because it's been so cold that they've come inside. But I want them to go back outside. Our patio has been so gloomy, and our house feels a little congested because things that don't normally, like plants that don't normally belong in our house, have been in them throughout the winter, which has been like a month and a half in Texas. But it's time for them to go back outside. I want to feel more inspired and just have this level of cleanliness, like mental clarity. That's what I'm looking for right now. It's just mental clarity. And I think by moving some of these plants outside, it is another one of those physical projects where I'm not necessarily flipping a page or putting paint on canvas, but physically moving things into a new location, feeling optimistic about what they will look like. The desert cactuses, they belong outside. That's where they always live. But because some of the hard frost that we've had, we brought them inside because we didn't want them to get all ushy-gushy when they freeze and just wilt and die. So we brought them in, but it's time for them to go outside. I want some mental clarity because I feel like there's been a lot of noise in my head, and there's nothing better than a good tactile project or book or painting to complete to make you feel better, and hopefully find more space for new plants to enter the chat, because I feel like you can never have too many, even though I tell Ben, no, we don't need it all of the time, because I haven't necessarily found space for them in our house just yet. But now that we're running back into 90-degree weather in Texas in February, I think it's, there's a plenty of opportune time for us to just move them outside so we can accumulate more, because enough is never enough. The limit doesn't exist, apparently, specifically with plants. So I think one of the very first things that we have to do before we can move any of those indoor plants that are outdoor plants back outside is to clean up out here. During the wintertime, our outdoor patio, it just becomes so neglected because it's too cold to be out here to enjoy. Even today, it's gonna be 70 degrees and it's a little chilly because there's not a lot of sun that is brightly shining right now. So I'm gonna clean up this area. This is our Peruvian daffodil. One of my aunts gave it to us. We left it outside all winter, and I'm surprised that it's starting to grow. I thought it was going to completely die. But nature always overcomes, and this pot Ben actually made when he was younger. And isn't it so cute? I love that we have stuff like this stoneware that you make yourself. It's probably just better than any other stoneware that you will ever have, because your fingerprints are just laid in it, and they will be around here a lot longer than they ever will be. But I'm just gonna put this off to the side because I don't really know what to do with it. I did a quick little wipe down of this shelving unit that we have on our patio. It was very mucky and gross. I had to rinse this out once or twice. I normally would have just been like, who cares, whatever, but I'm filming this. And I was like, you know what? Might as well give it 110% because I feel like this whole week I've just half-heartedly done everything that I could. And so makes me feel a little good going through and cleaning up something that I normally wouldn't clean up. I have another grouping of these racks that I will probably do the same thing to, because it does, you know, it's kind of like that saying, like when you look good, you feel good. And I feel like this entire week I haven't done a very good job at making myself look or feel good. So this is like a nice little activity to do that. Oh, she's heavy. As we're getting to the end of this video, I'm feeling so much better. I know at the very beginning I was really struggling to even have found an idea or concept to make this video come to fruition. So I started with just talking about my life, what I was going through, and how I was feeling a little impacted about the way of the world, but I cannot let that just bring me down. I have to cast myself, my own life preserver, and pull myself back out of it. And that is what I've done. I found a project, several projects actually in the last week, to make myself feel better. One of them being reading a book that a friend recommended, so it made me feel very close with one of my best friends, painting with friends, getting a little bit of alcohol after dry January, which by the way, I did very successful at. I only drank once or twice, and those were for very specific occasions, like the inauguration. That was a struggle to get through, and then just I think one other gathering that I just thought was important. I didn't want to be the only one not to be drinking, and I limited myself, so it was a dry-ish January. And painting with friends with this big box of wine that we did not even intend to purchase was a lovely and enjoyable time. And lastly, just cleaning up our plants. There is nothing more than getting some dirt under your fingernails, even though it kind of is a pain to get out from underneath those nails, but make me feel a lot better. And then of course, just editing this week's video, I'm feeling much better, still feeling a little overwhelmed, but I'm not going to let it bring me down. Wherever you are in this world, I hope that you're being kind to strangers, because I want them to be kind to you. There's nothing better or more fulfilling than meeting a person that just makes you smile, and I hope that you are that person for other people. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe down below, leave a comment, leave a smiley face. Just leave me a smiley face in the comments. That would be lovely and wonderful for the sake of engagement. But until the next video, I will see you guys next time. Be kind out there. Bye.